Hi, very good evening to all the viewers. My name is Vikrant and I'm working as the Chief Technology Officer at Space India, and I welcome you all to today's webinar. I thank Space for giving me this opportunity. So I am a science communicator and an astronomer. I am currently working at Space India, and the topic for today's webinar is top 10 celestial highlights of 2022 for India. So I hope all of you are excited. My journey in, so this is specially the idea for this came as we wanted to give people an idea of what events are visible. So the purpose of this webinar is to inspire you to look up, to promote amateur astronomy in India, that means hobby astronomy. We have selected some very basic events, something which are very simple to observe, and okay, I can see a lot of responses. Okay, so there is some events which will require you either binoculars or just simple eyes to observe. Except solar eclipse. All of you know Galileo went blind by observing a partial solar eclipse. So we will be covering top 10 events, and please stay till the end as we will be covering the most exciting events of this year towards the end of this webinar. We have about 11 months to go. January is already gone, and this particular image is of a comet called Comet Leonard, which was visible in the beginning of this year. Ishan, please check your internet connection. If you can't hear me, it shows me I have a good connection here. So we will be covering the most exciting events till the end of this at the end of this webinar, and we will also be telling you, I'm sure all of you want to learn astronomy and you are very new to this field. So we will be also be talking about how you can join Space India's program, and what are they meant for, what are some of the programs which you can join. I will talk about in the end. And in the meantime, I want to talk about a particular event which we will talk about at the end. It will be 45 minutes, and then I will have some Q&A with you. And this is a solar viewing goggles. This is the only safe way to view the sun. So please remember, I will tell you how you can buy it from Space India. So without further ado, let me move forward. So okay, so the number 10 event. So before even I talk about number 10 event, I want to tell you that my interest in astronomy started as when I was very young, and with my mother's help, I started going to Nehru Planetarium, and even in 1995, I saw my first solar eclipse from India, and my interest started long back. So when I was a very little kid, and I used to see stars in the night time, and now I work, and I told you my job is as a science communicator, and I'm working as a Chief Technology Officer. So I also want to today thank my team members and thank all of you for joining. So starting with the number 10 event is a meteor shower. Means you can see a Leonid meteor shower. So meteor shower means on one particular night. So okay, let me tell you, there is a dictionary. Astronomers have their own language. Can you tell me what wow means? When some astronomer is looking in the night time and he says wow, what is the most likely thing which has happened? So we say that many times, and a wow typically would mean that someone has seen a bright flash called a meteor. And can you tell me which meteor, which event is there which is continuously going on in the night sky? This event is meteors. So meteors are always seen in the sky, around few meteors, but sometimes the earth passes through the dust of different comets. So this time the earth is passing through the dust of comet Swift-Tuttle on 17th and 18th of November. That means the best night to see this meteor shower. You don't need anything, any equipment. You just need your eyes, simple eyes, to see this particular meteor shower, or any particular meteor shower as for that matter. So the speciality of Leonids is that they are bright meteors, and sometimes they leave a persistent train. That means just after the meteor has just zipped past, you can see some train kind of thing, some smoke just, or some impression which lasts for a fraction of a second, which you can see. That's called a persistent train. So what is the best night and where to go? Meteor showers are best seen in meteor showers are best seen from dark sites. So one thing is there that this year not many meteor showers are there. Leonids always occur in November, and the exact date slightly can change. So this time 17th night in India and 18th early morning, just before sunrise, will be the best time. And even better will be when, if you observe from midnight of, that means 00 hours 18th November to 4 o'clock in the morning. That's when you can see as many as 10 meteors every hour. So yes, so Gamer and KP Advait, yeah, so peak days are 17th and 18th. So okay, I am at a different slide. I see you can all see a different slide. I don't know why. Let me just check. I am at a different slide, and for some reason you people are seeing a very different slide. Let me just check what's the matter. Let me see why the slide has not changed. Okay, so 17th and 18th, yes Roshni, if you go out on 17th night and just before 18th morning is the best time to see. So I have it's weird that I can't see a slide change here, so please bear with me as I have now changed the slide once again to make sure if you can all see the slide change. Let me just see what's the matter. Okay, let me just check once again why you can't see Brave Celestial Events 2022. Okay, this looks good now. Okay, so Leonids are about 10 meteors every hour. You can all see. Now you will now see the slide change. Okay, and moving on to number 9 event. This is Jupiter and Mars conjunction. So conjunction means when two planets are seen very closely, and it's like going to a spacecraft. So alright, so it's like when you go, it's like you know what is happening in a conjunction. Imagine, so for this event is happening on 29th May 2022 in the morning hours, and allow me to show you through my Stellarium app as well. So as you will be able to see in a moment, my Stellarium app. You can now see Jupiter and Mars will come very close to each other in the night sky. And that's how they will appear in the morning sky. So okay, I've changed the slide. You can see the meteors, and now you are seeing my Stellarium. So you can see right here, as the sun, just before the sunrise in the dawn sky, you will be able to see Moon, Venus, Jupiter, Mars and Saturn. This is 29th. This is a naked eye view, beautiful lineup of 4 solar system objects. That's at number 9. And I want all of you to hold your finger in front of you. Let me show you what I mean. So by this I mean, please hold your finger like this and close one eye. When you see your thumb, your finger like this, when you are seeing your fingernail with one eye closed like this is about 1 degree in the sky, and 1 degree is divided into 60 parts. Each part is called 1 minute. So for this particular event, the number 9 event, you will be requiring a telescope to see or a naked eye to see. They will be very close. It will be very interesting to watch this event, and if you take a telescope, you will see something like this. Jupiter and Mars will be fitting within one telescope field. So this is the reason that this particular event is interesting. And now you can see once again the slides which I have for you. And so the next event, coming to number 8, is conjunction. So let me tell you, like, we will spend a little more time on the last 3 events. This is a conjunction. Number 8, we have a conjunction of Jupiter and Venus happening in the sky on 1st May 2022. And during this time, the Jupiter and Venus will come just 1/3 of a degree. That means when you looked at the your finger, when you looked at the fingernail with your one eye closed, Jupiter and Venus will be so close to each other that they will be hidden. They will occupy just 1/3 the distance between of a degree. That means even so close that they will be so close that you can hide them behind one finger, and they will occupy just one. They will be like, if you take the width of your fingernail, they will occupy just 1/3 of that length. So let me tell you, let me show this to you over my full screen version here. So this is happening on 1st of May. So if I go to 1st of May right here, if we go, this will be happening in the morning time. So let me search for Jupiter. Jupiter and Venus are also the brightest objects in the night sky. That is why we have kept this event at number 8. So this is the view from a telescope. They will be very, very close to each other. This is like a wide angle view from a telescope. Actually this view is slightly more than what a telescope would see. Like telescope sees typically a view of 1 fingernail width kept at an arm's length or 1 degree. Here I am showing you a field of view of 2.45 degrees. And if I were to remove this and show you what you will be seeing with naked eyes, this is just in the morning time. You would see Jupiter and Venus will be there before the sunrise. Then you have Mars and Saturn also above it. Now we are going to the next event, and the next event is the conjunction of Saturn. And so there are 3 conjunctions which are less than 1 degree away. So this one is the most exciting. Okay, let me tell you, my favorite would be, actually there are different reasons for different conjunctions. Jupiter and Venus are the brightest objects, so they will be very exciting. Then Saturn and Mars will also be very exciting to watch, because Saturn and Mars will appear the same brightness, and they will be just 1/3 the distance of a fingernail, the angle subtended by a fingernail at an arm's distance. So you can see Saturn and Mars are looking. And if I were to show you in my Stellarium app, by the way, Stellarium is a star chart app which astronomers use. Let me show you with the Stellarium. Okay, it's a bit tricky for me to actually juggle between different screens which I have to show you. So if I go to, this event is happening on, you can see Saturn and Mars will be looking same brightness. They will come very close to each other as appearing in the sky, and this type of event is called a conjunction. Will we get the mail of this? Hi Parth, welcome. Join from here. We are talking about top 10 events of this year. So you can see, if I keep the Mars centered here in Stellarium, and if I change the date from 3rd to 4th to 5th of April, in the morning time, Saturn is passing close to Mars on, you can see this is 5th of April. So lots of action is happening between April and May in the morning sky just before sunrise. So now we are jumping to event number 6 of this year, and these all events, as I have told you, are very exciting because they are for India. We have done a research, space team has done a research especially for which events will be seen from India. So you can see in the morning there is a lot of action happening, Jupiter, Venus, Saturn and Mars. So this particular time on 5th of April before the sunrise, about say 30 minutes or before the sunrise, or even 1 hour before the sunrise, you would see Saturn with its moons and Mars all together in one telescope field. And when you look at it with the without the telescope, you will see two very close to each other dots, both of equal brightness. Now we are coming to number 6. This year is the best opportunity to watch Jupiter. It will be slightly better, and this happened in 1968. So Jupiter is actually, every year it comes, once a year it comes close to the Earth. It's called an opposition. But this time the opposition is happening at the time, Vitrival, please join, welcome Vitrival. Alright, so at that time of the conjunction, opposition, what does an opposition mean, by the way? So I will just be telling you, but let's look at this diagram. This is Sun, this is Earth, and Jupiter will be at this point, let's say at its closest point, because you know the orbits of the solar system are not perfectly circular. They are slightly elliptical, which means Jupiter sometimes comes slightly closer to the Earth than in its every year. When Earth passes from here, Jupiter comes closer to Earth, so it appears slightly brighter. But let me tell you, every year Jupiter is very, very far away. Okay, Jupiter is very, very far away from the Sun and the Earth. So difference between Jupiter's distance from Earth does not change very much. Imagine, like, I am in my drawing room and I move from here to let's say one end of my drawing room to the other, and there is a friend's house which is 100 meters away. So if I move 5 meters in my room, I am not really closer to my friend's house and not really far. So that distance is not too much. But what happens is, during the time of an opposition, it means that what is happening, Earth is in the middle of the planet and the Sun. You can see in this diagram. So Jupiter will be at its perihelion point, not perigee, this is by mistake. So please, we apologize for the mistake. This should be perihelion. That means the planet will come closest to the Sun. So when the planet is also closest to the Sun, it is kind of, during its opposition, it is also closest to Earth. So since 1968, Jupiter has never been this close, as it will be in 27th September 2022, when it will be visible entire night. Now let me tell you with another idea. So to give you another idea, now you can see my screen and what is happening. So see, I have my hands spread out. Okay. So one hand is here. I am Earth. Imagine I am Earth. This is Sun. And this is Jupiter. So Jupiter, Earth, Sun. So Earth is in the middle. That means Sun is on one side, Jupiter is on the other side. So it is opposite, diametrically opposite as seen from Earth. So Jupiter and Sun are diametrically opposite. That brings Jupiter slightly closer every year when Earth passes between Jupiter and so Jupiter becomes slightly bigger. So why am I sharing all this? Because we want your observational astronomy. We want you to become amateur astronomers or hobby astronomers. So astronomy is so amazing and so cool. So this learning all this will help you become more practical astronomers. Okay, so more practical. So how can you become good astronomers? A good astronomer is someone who goes out and observes a lot of times. Every time, like today, you can, okay, today is cloudy. But a good astronomer is someone who will observe the night sky often. So when you look at the night sky often, observe it often, you get practice. And just like any other practice, you become better at it. That's the reason why I'm teaching you all this. So I'm sharing with you all my experience of astronomy today, which I've learned over so many years, and how you can become a better. So now let me show you the slide back. So when I go to, now you can see, so so you can see Jupiter is, wait, let me see, the slide has not progressed. Let me see, the slide again are not changed, so please bear with me as I change the slide and see what's the matter with the slide. Okay, still not changing. Okay, I have an idea. Okay, I have an idea to get over this problem. I will share my entire screen with everyone, so whenever you see, you will be able to see my entire screen now. So you can see my slides also. Alright, now I guess this is good. You can see the slides also. Okay. Yeah, Roshni, now you can see the diagram. What I was talking about is, this is Sun, this is Earth, and imagine that this is Jupiter's orbit, but it's very, very far away from Sun, not this close as it is shown. And this point is perihelion, not perigee. Perihelion means, imagine like a slightly elliptical orbit. So at one point of time, Jupiter comes close to the Sun, at the other it goes far from the Sun. And when that happens, and Jupiter is opposite to the Sun as seen from the Earth, this time, this event, though it happens every year, this time it will happen on 27th September. And when this time it happens, the Jupiter will be at its perihelion. So it will be slightly closer to the Earth than usual. So we have never been this close to Jupiter since 1968. So when you observe Jupiter on 27th September 2022, it will be visible the entire night from sunset time to sunrise time. And it will be slightly brighter. And it will be at its nearly the brightest it can get. So you will be able to see Jupiter's, like with a telescope, you will be able to see its bands. With a powerful telescope, you can even see a red spot. And the brightest it goes is magnitude minus 2.9. So celestial objects come in different brightness. The measure is called magnitude, just like we measure distances in kilometers. The measure of the planet's brightness or a star's brightness is called magnitude. The smaller the number, the brighter it is. So what I want to share here is that this number is representing how bright Jupiter will be. It will be minus 2.9, and let me tell you, Jupiter is one of the brightest objects you can see in the night sky. after Sun, Moon, Venus, International Space Station, and maybe one or two more satellites, you have no other star which rivals this brightness. So even Mars at its brightest time, only when Mars is at its brightest can it come near to this. So now this is showing you how big Jupiter will be, and please remember this number, 48.8 arc seconds. That means it is nearly, I told you, like my fingernail, when I close my eye and keep my arm at an outstretched and close my one eye and I observe my fingernail and I observe it, this is 1 degree. So 48 arc minutes means slightly less than 1/60th. 48 arc seconds means Jupiter's angular diameter in space, in sky, in astronomers measure distances in the sky, in the local sky, as angular distances sometimes. Like up from horizon to up there is 90 degrees. So you can see angular sizes, 48 arc seconds means just nearly 1/60th of a fingernail width. So you can see Jupiter will be, when Jupiter is very very far away from Earth, then it looks this big through a telescope. When it is very close from the same telescope, it looks this big. So this is a photo by Association of Lunar and Planetary Observers by Gary Walker, who submitted this picture to a place called Association of Lunar and Planetary Observer. Now number 5 are icy visitors, and not one, we are talking about 2 icy visitors. Icy visitors means comet which stay in really really cold, freezing temperatures. They are also called Puchal Taras. So this year, okay, let me tell you that a comet's prediction for comets, the brightest comets which was seen this year has already gone, and it's not very often that you get a comet which can be seen with its tail and to naked eye. But these 2 comets are binocular comets of 2022. One of the comets is called C2021-03 Pan-STARRS, which can be seen in the last week of April to first week of May in the western direction, very close to the sun. So but it might get as bright as something which can be seen with a binocular. So but even if you, so comets sometimes, okay, no, it's very difficult to predict exactly how bright comet will become. So comet can actually sometimes really surprise us with their brightness, sometimes they can disappoint us. So that is why we have kept it somewhere in the middle, not very high, not very good. So but these are comets which are to watch out for this year, if you have particularly a binocular. So comet Pan-STARRS, why are we selecting these comets? Because they are the brightest and the binocular comets of this year. And you can, this is a picture on the right. Now something amazing happened. So comets have something called nucleus, the central part of a comet, and if the nucleus is big, you can start to spot a comet from when it is even further away than Jupiter or orbit of Mars. Comets contains of ices, frozen gases, and they are, okay, by the way, okay, so they are, when comets are coming towards inner solar system, they don't start, the ices are so cold and the temperatures are freezing, very very freezing, that ices don't start to sublimate. That means ices don't turn to gases at that cold temperature normally. But what happens if there is a big comet with lots of ice? Even small amount of ice can be seen from far away because there is a lot of ice. So even if a comet, when it is approaching the sun, so comet typically comes from very very far away in a place. Comet's home is called Oort's cloud, very very far away in the solar system. And when they are coming closer to a sun, they will cross Uranus, they will cross Jupiter, Saturn, Jupiter and Earth, and only then they start to develop a gaseous atmosphere. But on the right you can see an atmosphere of a comet which was seen when it was very very far away. That is giving an astronomers a hope that this comet can become bright. So we are watching out for it. But even if this comet disappoints, there is a comet called K2 Pan-STARRS. But before we go to K2, let me tell you about O3 Pan-STARRS. Both are discovered by same observatory, and I'm sure I'm remembering my first comet right now. I took a picture with the help of a friend, and my friend's name was Ajay Talwar, who helped me take a picture, and I'm so grateful for him that so many tails of comets I've seen till now, and recently from Space's Astroport I saw comet Leonard's tail. So like this comet is coming from as a visitor to Earth, and it will likely be only one time visitor. That means, so we have to say hi to it. When a visitor comes, like a guest is coming to solar system, inner solar system. That means it was normally for millions of years. Like for the first time it is coming, so it's like a guest. So it will come close to the sun and it will go away, never to return. But there is a small chance that it might interact with the gravity of Jupiter, and it might just become like a periodic comet. So it will return, but like very unlikely. So the most likely chances it's in a special orbit where it will never return. So just the only opportunity to see this comet. This is the orbit of the comet, which is going like this, coming close to the sun, and comets become visible only when they are coming close to the sun. They become so hot, or they feel the heat of the sun, and the ices start to evaporate. And this is the Earth at that time of its closest approach. So Earth will see this comet. So this is the white path, is the orbit or the path which the comet will follow. And this comet is called O3 Pan-STARRS. And next comet, even if this disappoints, there is one more comet which is likely to become a solar system gamer. Sir, is there any permanent place for landing comets? Yes, there is a home of comets called OORT, Oort's cloud. Like very far away from the sun they are orbiting. Otherwise there is no permanent place. Comets keep orbiting the sun in an orbit, which can have a short period comet which will be very close to the sun or very far from the sun. So otherwise they don't stay stationary. Like Earth also keeps moving. Similarly, comets also keep moving. So this is the second comet called K2. By the way, K2 would remind you of the largest, second tallest peak of mountain. This comet is at least twice the size of K2, and that means actually it's a big comet. This comet might be 18 kilometers big or even 100 kilometers big. No one is sure. But you can see, the comet's atmosphere has been taken by Hubble Space Telescope. Now you must be wondering, wow, this is like a normal, just a dot with some atmosphere. What's so special? But imagine that this is right now, this was taken when comet was close to Saturn's orbit. And no comet has, like very rare that comets at that distance show something like an atmosphere that far. So there are chances that it will become a binocular comet. It was that far when it was discovered, and it is coming closer. It was even much further than this. This is the path of the comet, and it's going to come closer to Earth. Oh yeah, this is Saturn. So yeah, this is very far away. Earth is somewhere very close to the sun, and it's coming close to the sun, and when it comes close, then it can become a binocular comet, and you will be able to see it for 4 months, June to September in northern hemisphere. So I'm talking about India only. After that it will become a southern hemisphere comet. That means you have to go to Australia to view it best. And now we are going to, do you recognize this planet? We are coming to event number 4. Do you recognize this planet? This is an artist's impression. This is an artist's impression. Do you know this planet? It's called Mars. I am not able to see your chats in real time. And this event is called Opposition of Mars. When, again, let me show you when Earth will be in middle of Sun and Earth, and Mars will be opposite. So this is the best time to view Mars. Mars normally remains so faint that you cannot see it. But what's going to happen on 8th December is Mars will appear very big. This is a picture and you can see surface features of Mars with a telescope. Here this picture is showing you polar ice cap of Mars through a telescope. And this is what is happening. This is Sun, this is the orbit of Earth, this is the orbit of Mars. And in 2000, this year is 2022. So Earth will be here on December 8th and Mars will be here. So you can see from Earth, during Mars opposition, Mars will be relatively close to Earth. So Mars cannot be seen all the time. Mars is only seen for few months close to its opposition. And this happens on 8th of December. Mars will be visible full night. You can see the size of the Mars will dramatically go up. From May 11th, it will be seen in the telescope as a small circle. Until December 1, it will become 1/2. Like, it will not be as big as Jupiter, but it will be half the size of Jupiter. Less than half the size. So Mars's diameter as seen from Earth will increase until we see it so big, and then it's going to decrease. And this is the picture of Mars and the simulation of Mars from NASA. This is showing just a hint of polar ice cap which could be seen. Both polar ice caps can be seen. This is Olympus Mons. And now I'm going to show you something most interesting about Mars. If we go to December 10th, so I'm sure December 8th, many people would notice that moon is very close to Mars in the midnight time. You will be able to see it, Mars nearly overhead from New Delhi. Mars will come nearly overhead. You can see both moon and Mars are visible throughout the night. Mars will be at its brightest. And a very good opportunity to grab your telescopes and see Mars. So you can see Mars and full moon will be seen on that night right overhead. So many people would see, what's that very bright object close to full moon? And that's Mars. And now we are going to the number 3 event. Have you ever done a marathon? Marathon means I'm planning to run a marathon. That means half marathon, 21 kilometers in December this year. But what is happening on 26th December? Throughout first week of January, what you will see, all 5 planets. This is a challenge to all of you. This is a date to challenge yourself to see all 5 planets, naked eye planets, in one night. And not only that, you will be able to see all planets of the solar system in a single night. And believe this is a rare event to see all 5 planets. So it's like a challenge, like running a marathon. So as I told you, I'm challenging to run a half marathon, 21 kilometers in one night. So sometimes astronomers have to challenge themselves. Like, you can see Venus, like one after the other you have to spot planets. You will see Venus just after sunset on 26th December. Venus you will see, then you will see Mercury, then you will see Moon, then you will see Saturn, then you will see Jupiter, then you will see Mars. And Venus and Mercury will be the most challenging to see. So that's the part of the challenge. See, in the south direction, from southwest to northeast direction, all planets, naked eye planets can be seen. And Earth is also there. So you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 planets. Now this is a picture we took from Astroport, where Mercury, this is a dot, Mercury, this is Jupiter and Saturn were seen together. Anubhav, okay, we have a question by Amit Rathore. So for Mars, what is the question? I couldn't get that question. And we have, what is the time? Mr. Amit Rathore, please can you tell me, for what event are you asking the time? For Mars. For Mars, the time will be the entire night. if you have this question, let me show you. As soon as the sun sets, you can see it here. So I'm showing you in my stellarium. This is a software for all amateur astronomers. See, as the sun is setting in the sun rises. Okay, let me wait, please wait. So I'm going to 7th. Let me show you now. So we have a sunrise. Sorry, I'm going in opposite direction, my bad. We have sunrise on 7th. We have, then sun will set on 7th. Then once we come on 8th, as the sun sets on 8th, the planets are rising. Moon and Mars are rising in the east, and they are going higher and higher, and throughout the night they will be visible, and in the morning sun rises and this sets. So now coming back to the marathon of planets. Now if you are more ambitious, what you can do with a telescope or a binocular, you can aim to spot Neptune and Uranus also. So that will complete the tally of all 8 planets, and brightest asteroids Jupiter and Vesta are also there. So that's something you can try in the last week of January, last week of December this year to first week of January. Now we are coming to number 2 events. Saran Surya Kodi, Ritika is saying stellarium. At what time the Mars will be close to the moon? So Mr. Amit Rathore, what I am suggesting is, see, this exact timing of the closest time of Mars to moon will not be seen from India. But when you see Mars close to moon, let me show you here. You can see somewhere, okay, this is Mars is going away from moon. Moon is closest to Mars right about near midnight. Let's say if we measure the distance, it is 6 degrees. So almost, actually I measured like it should be about 5 degrees somewhere here. So near midnight, we found it was good enough to see for us. So throughout night the distance will change, but when it is in the morning, let me be more accurate. What is happening when the Mars is close to moon in the morning time, or what is the time right here? Let me just check, please. This is east, sorry. Oh yeah, of course it is evening time. Alright, when it is rising, everyone, so at 7, thank you Mr. Amit Rathore for this good question and clarification for everyone. So this is about 6 degrees. That means a very wide field binocular will be able to see when Mars and moon are rising. You can see this with a binocular in a single field. What I mean to say is this, that you will be able to see something like this from a wide field binocular, super wide field binocular. And this will be just when Mars rises around after sunset. They will be closest, Mars and moon, on 8th December. Now I'm going to number 2, event number 2, partial or total lunar eclipse on 8th November 2022. This is a photograph of space taken by Mr. C.B. Devgan, late C.B. Devgan, who was the former president of space. And this picture featured on NASA Astronomy Picture of the Day. A beautiful picture of lunar eclipse. Lunar eclipses means a shadow of Earth falling on the moon on 8th November. And the time to watch this event is when the sun sets and the moon will rise at that time. And this event will be visible from India. This is the map showing what the people can expect. This is the world map of different countries. Greenland will see, India can see this. This is the part, the blue part is where no one can see, no eclipse is seen. Let's see closely what is happening in India. So in this part of India, the western, northern and southern part of India, the lunar eclipse will be partial. In the eastern part of India, divided by this line, the event will be a total lunar eclipse. Let's see more closely. So in the part, India will not see complete eclipse, but when there will be a moon rise, India will see this eclipse. In Jammu and Kashmir, this is the view of the moon at the time of okay, Anubhav, what do you mean 10th December? No, Anubhav, 8th December is the time for Mars opposition, or the best view of Mars, and in the midnight, the moon and Mars will be seen exactly overhead. Exactly. So Mr. Amit Mathur, thank you once again for your question, because that's helping me clear. At the midnight time, the moon and Mars seen from New Delhi or northern India will be right on the top overhead. बिल्कुल सिर के ऊपर नजर आएंगे. So they will be about 7 degrees apart at that time. Right now we are at what about Bangalore? Kartike, we will see Bangalore will be seen. So for a good question by Kartike, thank you for your question. So for people who are it helps us clarify for everyone. For people who are in Bangalore or any city which you don't see here, you can see pick the closest city you see. So for Bangalore, you can see Chennai is the closest. So this is the view at the moonrise time. That means what you will need to do, excuse me, is to go to a place where you can have a clear view to the east and northeast. So the moonrise for entire India will happen in between east and northeast direction. So this is from Srinagar, moonrise would be seen like this. From Bikaner, moonrise would be seen like this. That means this is a dark part. The red part is showing the shadow of the earth. So what is the shape of the earth, and how do we know the shape of the earth? It is because of the shadow of the earth is curved. You can see a curved shadow shown in red colored. This is the moonrise as seen from New Delhi, moonrise as seen from Nagpur, Mumbai, Thiruvananthapuram, Chennai, Kolkata, Patna, Dibrugarh in eastern part of India. So what we are seeing, Patna, Kolkata and Dibrugarh will see a fully eclipsed moon at the time of moonrise, while those people who are in the western part like Mumbai, Thiruvananthapuram, the more west of India you are, the less eclipse you will see. The more east in India you are, the more lunar eclipse you will see. So now in the end I will also tell you how you can make your own prediction. This is from a website called timeanddate.com. You can go and take predictions for your own city. Right now I'm giving you small predictions for different places in India, like the capital cities New Delhi, Mumbai, Kolkata and Chennai, representing north, south, east, west in India approximately. So I am particularly in New Delhi. So what is it showing? Out of the 4 metropolitans, only Calcutta will see totality. That means moon would have fully covered the sun. So what I mean is, I will show you from my camera what you can see. What I mean by this is, imagine that this is moon and imagine this is the shadow of the earth. So imagine that moon is this is the shadow of the earth falling on the moon, and moon is fully covered. This is totality. So when the moon will rise, it will be partially covered, partially eclipsed. Like moon is rising for you people, partially eclipsed. And slowly moon, the earth's shadow will be removed from the moon. So that's the time of the ending of the partial eclipse. But in Calcutta you will see moonrise like this, and just after moonrise you will see a beginning of a partial eclipse. So what does mean? What is a total lunar eclipse? This is a total lunar eclipse. This is a partial lunar eclipse. This is also partial. This is also partial lunar eclipse. This time this is a deep partial. This is not so deep partial. So Mumbai will see something like this. New Delhi will see something like this. Calcutta will see something like this. So what is happening is, for New Delhi, the totality is not seen because it will be, the moon would not have risen yet. So here we can see New Delhi, the weather prediction chances say, historical data of the weather prediction, these all circumstances we have taken from www.timeanddate.com, and the weather prediction data is saying that we have 34% chances of cloud cover for Delhi, 10% chances of cloud cover on that day, looking at history of that day in Mumbai. So, and in Chennai it will be likely very cloudy, 85% chances that this day will be cloudy. Kolkata, we have almost 50% chance of this day being cloudy. These are the times. So one thing you can see here is that the moon will rise. Now I'm going to show you a simulation from my Stellarium software going to November 8th. At the time of solar eclipse. So if I zoom in on the moon, and I'm increasing the size of the moon just to make it clear. So what will New Delhi see? Look, this is northeast, this is east. Similar view will be seen, but the amount or the fraction of the moon covered by the Earth's shadow would be less or more for different cities. So this is something which we will see from New Delhi as the moon is going higher and higher. So you can see it is so low. You will need to be present on a very clear horizon where you can see the moon very clearly. You have a clear view to east, and as it is going up, the shadow of the Earth is removed and the penumbral eclipse will begin. That means it is still, there are two shadows of the Earth. One is umbral shadow, one is penumbral shadow. So moon is now, this is deep, this shadow. On the right is the darker shadow, umbral shadow. Now it is in penumbral shadow. So you will still continue to see moon is slightly eclipsed, but as it is going higher, moon will come out of eclipse and will become a little more brighter. So there will be a partial lunar eclipse and then a penumbral lunar eclipse, and then the penumbral lunar eclipse will end. So the circumstances are for New Delhi. I am giving you this. For New Delhi, you will have the the eclipse duration will be for 1 hour 58 minutes. Moonrise will happen at 5:28 p.m. and partial eclipse will end when the at 6:19 p.m. and almost nearly 1 more hour the penumbral eclipse will continue. That means a very weak kind of eclipse, where it will be difficult to tell for you whether there is even an eclipse or not. So main eclipse will end here, and 99.7 degree altitude means at this time, if you take just a fist, if you just take your fist and keep it on the horizon, so just see, this fist is 10 degrees angle like this. Please make it. Okay, let me see if there are any questions. Anything on 7th December, Kartike? On 7th December, you can see Mars. So, what is happening here is this is 10 degrees. And please don't go, because we are going to talk about one most important event is coming. A partial solar eclipse is yet to come, so no one to go yet. And Vitrival, please wait. So, this is 10 degrees. So, for New Delhi, as the moon will rise just at 10 degrees, the partial eclipse will end. And now I'm going to show you some beautiful photos of a moon taken by other. So this is a picture of a total lunar eclipse with stars. This is from Astronomy Picture of the Day, one of my favorite pictures. With a total lunar eclipse, moon becomes very faint and it will be red in color as seen from Kolkata or Dibrugarh. And you will be seeing stars and moon, although moon will be very low on the horizon. And you can see a beautiful photo of moon and Earth's shadow, taking many photos of lunar eclipse. You can see what is the color. you can see in this photo, what is the color of the moon? Reddish. A reddish color is there because even when there is a shadow of Earth falling on the moon, some light of the sun still filters from the atmosphere of the Earth and falls on the moon. So this is the shadow, and multiple photos of moon have been combined, and I want to show you. This is my favorite photo of lunar eclipse ever. This is taken from Astronomy Picture of the Day by NASA, and many photos, 15 photos have been combined. It's only captured in camera, otherwise you can't capture it in real life. It's with a lot of photos and with a lot of astrophotography science. You can cover this kind of, where you can see half moon is eclipsed and you can still see the moon. This is another beautiful 3D looking moon with the clouds. This is something Mumbai will see when the moon will be rising. And please don't go, we have solar eclipse coming, and I'll tell you about the like our Space India programs. And here is another beautiful picture of the lunar eclipse. So in the end, we have time, I'll like to tell you how you can make the predictions for yourself. So okay, now coming to the event, the best event for this year. But before that, we want to give you a warning. Galileo got blind. You should never see the sun or an eclipse with naked eyes. You can go blind by looking at the sun. So the only safe way to view the next event is through a safe solar viewing goggles placed in front of your eyes. Its sun should never be viewed through telescope, binoculars, cameras or normal sunglasses. You can see I have this. You can view the sun from this kind of glasses. Space India sells them. Please buy your glasses immediately from Space India website spacearcade.in. At the time when it comes close to the solar eclipse, it is very difficult to find these glasses. So you can buy right now. This is the eclipse viewing glasses, 100% safe to view. So once again, Galileo got blind, so you should never look at the sun with naked eyes or telescope or anything. So you must be wondering how you to view. So I've told you, by viewing these with these, you can safely view, and ideally solar observation should only be done under a professional supervision. Space India has been watching eclipses, and this is a picture taken by Space India. There is a sunspots visible on the sun, and partial solar eclipse is there. And on 25th October 2022, this will be a sunset eclipse that will make it very beautiful. To give you an idea what you can hope to see, this is a beautiful sunset and a moonset happening together on Astronomy Picture of the Day by another fellow astronomer Alexander, and you can see this is what the view will be on 25th October this year at the time of sunset for nearly entire India. Even sunsets are dangerous to watch. If the sun is too bright like this, please never view the sun. Only for few seconds at the sunset, very few seconds you might be able to view. The sun will be in in southwest direction at that time. And yeah, Anubhav, you can buy solar eclipse solar filters from spacearcade.in. I will tell you. This is a solar eclipse taken by another fellow astronomer near historical monument. This is the kind of photographs you can take this time. This is a sun, partially eclipsed sun, which is seen with an ocean. Another beautiful view of this is the kind of view you can expect. So another very photogenic view by a fellow astronomer from Astronomy Picture of the Day, NASA. And this is F. Nagela, and you can see the credits below. You can see this picture's credits, images by Mr. Andrew Wall. Here this picture is by Mr. Chris Kotsipolius. Sounds like a Canadian. And this picture is by Alexander, and by the way this is, yeah. And going back to this event, you can make a pinhole projector or project the sun through a binocular. So this is a projection of the sun. So a binocular can be used, and a paper is used to project the image. One of the holes of the binocular is covered. A pinhole can be made in the card to view, and this is a space. So tell me, would you view the sun directly or with a telescope? Yes or no? The answer is no. Please type in your answers. Is it safe to view the sun with naked eye? No. Is it safe to view the sun with a telescope? No. Never. So please be very, very cautious. You cannot replace your eye. So this kind of glasses can be purchased. The website is spacearcade.in. It's for 133 rupees. This is your shop. You can, this is meant for you only. You can buy it from us. And the solar eclipse diagram I will now showing you. This is the view. This is the map of India showing the circumstances. Let me show you in more clarity. This is the maximum eclipse which we will see. Yeah, good everyone. Very good. Anjali, Vitrival, Atom, Gamer, Suyansh, yeah, but Anubhav, filters are only meant for your direct eye viewing. Filters can be used only when they are placed on the front end of the telescope. So you should learn solar observation from space because we are experts. The idea is you should learn solar observation under expert supervision. And this is the most important event. This is happening at sunset, and you can see the northeastern parts are the best placed. Rajasthan, Bikaner, Srinagar in Jammu and Kashmir are best placed. The maximum eclipse will be this much. As you can see, moon is covering the sun. New Delhi is seeing this much eclipse at its maximum, and this will be nearly the sunset time. For all cities shown, the maximum eclipse will be at the sunset time. The eclipse will begin just some few minutes before the sunset. So the direction of sun from entire India will be between west and southwest direction. Kolkata will see the least eclipse, and eastern part of India will see no eclipse. The percentage shown is how much area of the sun is covered by the moon at its maximum. What do I mean here? We mean that, oh, you didn't see any, wait everyone, you didn't see some slides. This is the slide, and this is Space Arcade, which I was showing you. This is the pinhole projection method. You create a pinhole. This is a binocular projection. You take a card or a paper and you can cover one part of the binocular, one hole of the binocular, and through the other you can project an image of the sun. This is a partial solar eclipse taken by picture taken by space along with sunspots. So it's possible to capture similar events. So this is the caution. Galileo went blind, and this is you can see telescope should never be used. Cameras also, even if you are trying to take a photograph, don't look directly through the viewfinder. It can damage your camera. For that you will need training. And you can see the lunar eclipse happening here in different parts of India. The maximum lunar eclipse, as I have told you, how much will be seen, and this diagram you have seen. Now coming to solar eclipse, how much solar eclipse you are seeing in different cities. We will end it in some time. I think it's 1 hour and the time is up, but please allow me to complete this, and maybe you will have some questions also at the end. So we are this is the view. Srinagar, New Delhi, Bikaner, Ahmedabad, Mumbai, Mangaluru in Karnataka, Thiruvananthapuram, Chennai, Hyderabad, Nagpur. So if you are in Jaipur or anywhere, you can see the closest city. In eastern parts of India, you are not seeing any partial solar eclipse. And the duration of the eclipse will be least for example, in Calcutta, you will see just for 12 minutes. That means as soon as just 12 minutes before sunset, the eclipse is going to begin, and the eclipse will end at the time of, it will be maximum at the time of sunset. So what do I mean by this? Okay, for New Delhi, the eclipse will be seen for 1 hour 13 minutes. The more east or north you are, the better you will see the eclipse. The more fraction of the sun will be covered. For New Delhi, that means the moon and the sun's center will come more closer to each other. So that's the best in Chennai, that's the best in Kolkata. So no one will see the true end of the eclipse because sun will set before the eclipse ends. Let me tell you what I mean by this. Now I'm showing you this view, and with this view what you can see is, imagine that this is the shadow of the this is the moon, this is the sun, and so what's going to happen is, for Delhi, the eclipse will begin nearly 1 hour 13 minutes before the sunset. It will increase. It will come to about 50% and it will continue to increase, but at that time the sun will set. For Calcutta, what will happen? Very close to the horizon, the eclipse will begin, and at this stage the eclipsed sun will set. Similarly for Chennai, imagine the lower part of your screen as the horizon where the earth and the sky meets. So it will set. But for Srinagar, it will begin much higher. It's going like this, and like this. So this is the time called first contact, when this is the moon, this is the sun. When they are just touching each other, that's called the beginning of the eclipse. Okay, and imagine the center of the moon and the center of the sun. When it is closest to each other, I am calling it the maximum, and that will be at the sunset for anywhere in India. Now going back to my presentation view, my all sky view. So you can see the eclipse will be, we will not see the true end of the eclipse, but eclipse will see when, for New Delhi, to see the maximum, you should choose a place where the south and southwestern direction is very clear. We have taken this prediction from timeanddate.com. These are the space students and who are viewing this eclipse, and you can see more students of eclipse view. This is the best way to view eclipse. We have a filter is placed on top of the telescope. That's our team space. That's yours truly. And we are taking pictures of the sun. We have seen many eclipses as part of space team. This is the founder, Mr. Sachin Bamba. We met and presented him with different photos of our eclipse expedition. And with this, I want to show you one on what is going to happen for New Delhi 25th, to give you a more clear idea for those who are waiting here patiently. What will happen in India on 25th? Let's see. With the Stellarium software, this is the sunrise. Wait please. In the western direction, what do we have here? We have the moon and the sun as they are coming closer towards the evening. Slowly, very low on the horizon, the moon will make a contact with the sun and the partial eclipse will begin. So it is, please remember, only it is safe to view with solar eclipse goggles like this. This is the west, between southwest and west direction. You have to have a very high vantage point. So if you go on a top of a building where you can see this view, that's the best. And if we increase the time slowly, it is coming closer to the horizon, and the eclipse is going to be maximum. About 50% of the sun's diameter is covered by the moon at this time, and that's when the eclipse will be maximum for New Delhi, and it will end. With this, you can also see here we have a picture where we have the website which you can go to, timeanddate.com, and you can take out predictions for your place. For example, if you go to this particular website, you can look at sun and moon and eclipses, and if you click anywhere you will get your circumstances. This is the website you can note down, timeanddate.com. If you go to eclipses, you will be able to see all the eclipses. And if I go to 25th October and if I click on this map, you can get predictions. It's very simple, just like you use Google Map, and here we maximize it. So for any city, and if I click on, I can see all the cities in India. Suppose I want for Roorkee. If I click here and I click here, it's showing me everything. What are the weather possibilities? You will need to find out your weather possibilities. It is saying that in the past this day was cloudy 29% of the time. That's in Roorkee, in northern part of India, and you can see all the details. You can even see how the eclipse is going to look like from Roorkee. So, and okay, Anubhav sir, but filters can be applied right on the telescope. Anubhav, for telescope use of filters should be when the light is entering. You should, like, it's best not to view the sun through the telescope. Never view the sun through telescope, and no one should attempt viewing the sun through telescope with any method. Why we are strictly saying no? Because you should view it only with the help of some expert with you. So Space India does not recommend you to view the telescope method. You can go blind. Immediate blindness will result. For more training on safe solar viewing, you can approach us. There some filters can be placed on telescope front aperture. So when the light is entering the telescope, before that you can place a giant filter to cover up the sun, to cover it up. So the filters only which are specifically designed for solar viewing. We are selling specifically designed filters for solar viewing. So you should contact Space India Space Arcade for this. Once again, I am very clearly telling you, this part of the sun, this part of the is being covered with filter, but it is to be done with only expert supervision, and you can contact our team at spacearcade.in for more information about these safe filters. We are selling the best filters in the market in terms of safety, and they are certified. This is the website you can go to. Now I'm just talking about, we have Space India. To learn astronomy, you can go to learn.space-india.com website. We have programs for you, those who want to later learn observational astronomy, those who want to become astronomy educators. We have a program called Voyager. Those who want to become amateur astronomers, we do have meeting with the experts. We have weekly meetings. Every week we meet online and we run a club. We meet with experts, we make instruments, we learn about the night sky, We also conduct practical observations online in iAstronomer. So when you go to learn.space-india.com, you can find out more about us. And so thank you everyone for attending today. And these are the links from where we have got much of the information which was shared with you. Thank you, and we wish you an astronomical year ahead. From Space's website, this is a photo taken by Space of a star trail. You can also buy from Space when you join our clubs. You are also we also have an opportunity for you to buy space kits to help you learn astronomy. So that's the best way to learn astronomy by joining iAstronomer. It's for all age groups. So you will learn astronomy by hands-on method by joining a club which is meeting every week, and it's a year-long activity. You will be staying with us for throughout the year. We have an annual membership and India's first such a club, and it's the largest with the student population club in India. So thank you everyone. So if you have any questions, Gamer for Ludhiana, Punjab, you can please go to timeanddate.com. Here, let me take you to the website for Ludhiana if you want to know. Very good, Vitrival, you have made a pinhole camera for Ludhiana. There is a question how you can find out about Ludhiana. When you go for this and find out Ludhiana in the map, you can see there is going to be good percentage of eclipse. We have Jalandhar here, so Ludhiana should be close by. So if I can type also, because I don't know where is Ludhiana. Ludhiana, Punjab. Here is Ludhiana, Punjab. 2 hours duration eclipse will be seen from Ludhiana. And you can see this is the video. This is the maximum eclipse at the time of sunset. The timings at the beginning is 1622. Exact time when the eclipse will begin is 1622. That's the time of the beginning for Ludhiana. Okay, X-ray paper should never be used. Anubhav? Yeah, X-ray paper should never be used to view eclipse. You can go blind. Remember Galileo's example. I don't know whether he really went blind or what had happened, but there is a story that Galileo had gone blind. Saran, okay, I know you are an amateur astronomer. I can trust you. You can buy a solar filter with spacearcade.in. Those who will buy solar filter from spacearcade.in, you can please ask them how to use it also. Vitrival, it's okay sir, you can tell till 9 also. Thank you, Vitrival. Parth is saying, sir, do X-ray paper are used to see solar eclipse? No. Answer is no. Sir, Chennai what, sir? Vitrival, I would again request you to, okay, for Chennai I have all the data with me here for Vitrival. For partial solar eclipse in India, for Chennai, the eclipse will begin at 5:14 p.m. and at 5:42 p.m. the sun will set. So imagine the sun will be, you have to have a clear view towards southwest direction. South, between west and southwest. The eclipse will be visible for 31. So even the sun will be faint at that time because it is close to horizon, but it will be still very bright that it can burn your eyes, because it like the lens of the eye can concentrate all the heat, and the altitude of the sun will be 6.6 degrees. So Vitrival, like you make a fist like this. Let me tell you how difficult, like not difficult I would say, but for Vitrival, when the eclipse will begin, the first contact will happen at the best moment, and when you keep your, like keep 3 fingers, like actually 3 fingers like this on the horizon, arm's distance. So this is, this much high will be the sun. So this is the horizon, just there, just very close to horizon, the first contact will happen. That means the beginning will happen just above the horizon for you. and just in 30 minutes the sun is going to set. So very little window you have. So thank you everyone. It's great to interact with you. I saw names. In what school and classes are you in? Space Cadets in Space India, class G4. All right. Everyone, thank you so much. Wow, Eclipse expedition is cool. I'm in 6G. Me too. Yes. I study the same school. Yeah, I know Yogesh sir too. Anjali. Very good, Anjali. That's excellent. Please send the link. Okay. All right, Advait. All right. So, sir, I agree because the expert is required. Yes. Retrieval. Okay. All right, everyone. I am closing now. Thank you, everyone. No, I can't give you, Suyash, any coupons for Space Arcade. Wow, I'll suggest to them to give a coupon, but if you are a member of Space Clubs, I would recommend you to all join Space Clubs. They are the best opportunity for all of you. It's for even for grown-ups. So then we can talk. Like maybe you can talk to Space Arcade. Right now I know of no such. But I will talk to Space Arcade for space students to be given this. So with this, everyone, I am ending the stream. It's wonderful to interact with you, all of you. Wishing you an astronomical year. Thank you. I hope you all enjoyed. Bye.